There's a quote I was told today morning that I want to share with our viewers. Not all men in suits are rich. Wengine ni wakisi.
Yeah, naonewa Kisii. Actually kuonewa Kisii. But I've seen that here in Kenya we have a way of judging somebody by how you dress up. Today with my coat, I walk just across the street there. Even people will be like, this is Mheshimiwa, with somebody with respect. They put on jeans here. Even go to a mall with your jeans. They'll be like, oh, you need border rider, you know. So there's that very bad perception where people judge you by how you dress up, which is not very good. But if you go to developed nations like in the US, I used to see people walking into Walmart with boxers. A guy comes from his house with a boxer during summer.
That's too much.
During summer, you don't even have a shirt. Umeshika tu pesa yako tu, you go buy something.
That's good.
You know, it is. That's
Kenya,
how they live.
If someone did such a thing, they'd be branded as mad. Yeah. You're losing it.
Yeah, so that's where the problem is. We judge you by how you dress.
Interesting. Now let's have a look at the stories that are making headlines today. The Hustler Fund was launched. The good, bad, and ugly. Are you ready for the Hustler Fund?
Well, why should I apply for a Hustler Fund? Unless now I have a proper plan of how I'm going to use the money and have a return on investment. And you see how this can work out. You see, what people are thinking is that what people are comparing the Hustler Fund is what with Raila's Baba Care. Not Baba Care, that 6,000 a month payment where you get money for free. Now people are thinking this Hustler Fund was money that you just pocket it and you see when do you pay, you know. Because I don't even think it's going to be different from the youth and women fund or those so many other funds that have been given. All that, they just rebranded it, and made it easy for you to apply.
But one question that people need to know is anyone found misappropriating the funds or providing false information will attract a 10 million fine or 5-year jail sentence. Let
me ask you, so, does it even make sense you apply for 50K, you're defeated to pay it back, unless now you have to go to jail for 5 years? How do you pay 5 million? And funny enough, people who've stolen billions in Kenya are released by 1 million bond money. So that's okay. I think that's just to scare people to use your money wisely. But I wish Noah was here. How many people in the CRB by the way? Because they cannot pay back the loans from banks
and reach Noah so that you can get his
so you cannot say people definitely with the economic situation people definitely default, so they have to have a way of I think they need to put it a little bit hard for people to apply for these funds, because everybody will people, that's the hype they were using to campaign. Now that it's here, people knew it's going to be free. People are thinking now, okay, I'll just go and apply, and then once I have the money, I start now planning on how I'm going to use it. And then you find youths going into Buza dens and Changa dens and finishing all that money. And 50K in Kenya right now, what can you start with 50K? Can you even buy a boda with 50K?
No, you can't. Which kind of boda is that?
So, I mean, even if you invest, I don't know, maybe unless 5 or 4 people get the 50K each and pull up and start a project. But 50,000 in Kenya right now, what I don't know, probably somebody can tell us in the comment which kind of project do you think 50,000 in agriculture. Let's look at agriculture.
Yes, which agricultural projects can
which agricultural project can you, because you look at seeds, you look at fertilizer, you look at piece of land, you look at if you have irrigation now, if you're doing 50K, count out irrigation, unless you're going to irrigate, unless you're going to irrigate with your hands.
How you can?
But 50K, forget about irrigation.
But 50K, I'm just wondering, Even just vegetables. I doubt if 50K can be enough.
Can't be, unless you're doing a kitchen garden. Yes, no.
Where would you take a loan to start a kitchen garden?
That is what it fits.
And then
they've made agricultural input so expensive that if you're actually going into commercial farming, you have to dig deep into your pocket. And I keep telling people every day, you know, this agriculture we are talking about, it's a business. It's not just something that you're doing like a side hustle, the way people say side hustle. It needs total and almost 100% concentration. You cannot just leave or you bring somebody from the village who's not even done any biology or farming, come tell him just because he knows how to put fertilizer here and maybe know how to prune to take care of your farm. It's actually, and that's why there's so many people complaining that they're failing in their agricultural activities. Come think about those people who have devoted their lives like almost 100%. At the beginning, they might have challenges here and there, but once it starts picking, those people can't even pick your calls. I can name so many of them who don't even pick up my calls now because the money has gotten in.
Interesting. So the Hustler Fund was launched today, and let's wait and see. To qualify for the fund, individuals will have to be 18 years and over and holders of Kenyan national IDs. And it's expected to set aside 50 billion as the maximum seed capital with Parliament's approval. Now, there's this issue of maize importation, and there's relief to farmers as Ruto halts maize importation.
Yeah, because it was creating a big rift in his cabinet, in his government. You know, there's some MPs, especially from the Rift Valley, his home turf, who were affected directly. But no, this is where the problem is. According to the government, these farmers who are complaining now are not complaining because they're complaining because it's going to have a competition. They're going to have a competition so that the prices will go down and they won't have. That is the main reason, and I'm thinking the same. Because if you go around the country, there are so many people who are harvesting maize right now. You cannot tell me. Right now, the government even issued a statement in Parliament yesterday through the minority leader. The minority, I think it's the minority of some, he read on behalf of the CS and he said that by April 2023, if we do not import the maize, we'll have a shortage of maize, and you know what it means. Yeah, you know what it means.
So this article reads that the president to give priority to local maize farmers and allow imports in February 2023, and then the cabinet resolved to forego 1 month's salary to assist drought-stricken Kenyans.
You see, the problem is, let me tell you from a business perspective, because of the shortage, the price of the maize went up. Now, when it goes down, it's going to hurt the farmer. He won't be getting the income as he used to get. Now, they want the status quo to remain, the price to remain the same. Now, if you bring more maize, definitely the price, the demand and supply, the laws of demand and supply will definitely bring the prices down. And that is what people are very adamant about.
But taking pay cuts, is that enough?
Getting what, sorry?
Pay cuts.
Pay cuts. That is for
going their month's salary to.
No, just because a few people started making noise yesterday that the whole government is putting pay bill for people to pay, yet some of them are being seen giving out money recklessly. That is what people started complaining. How do you expect us to pay to put money in that pay bill while somebody is paying 300,000 for a bash in a school? So they have to have a radical show us, lead by example.
Interesting. So yes, those are just some of the stories we'll be checking more of them as we continue with the show. But today we want to talk about Azolla farming in Kenya. We need to get our audience to understand what exactly is Azolla and why should farmers get into such ventures. Mwakio, you're one of the farmers who you usually talk about weird things. Yesterday you mentioned something about GMO animals, and I really went home thinking, how would that animal look like a genetically modified animal? So today we are talking about Azolla, and we want to understand what is Azolla. It's an aquatic fern that serves as a rich source of high quality plant protein feed to supplement traditional livestock feed for poultry, fish, pigs, cows, and goats. What is this Azolla?
Now, Azolla, I think so many people have seen Azolla, but we've ignored them. We just look at them and we ignore. I mean, there's a time somebody was asking me, hey, where can I get Azolla? I told him, I'm sure if you walk near any of your streams, whichever part of Kenya, you'll see Azolla. Actually, there are small crested plants, aquatic plants that grow in a stagnant water or pond. You'll normally see a green shed. It's like grass, something, but they have very small crests or small leaves here. Those are Azollas. Azolla and duckweed are actually confused. Azollas have bigger leaves compared to duckweed. Duckweed has a bit of small leaves, like the one you showed me today. That's duckweed. Azollas are green, big, not like big, but the crests are a bit big. But they're in the same genera, the same I think family. They're almost the same species.
Why would a farmer? And I really wish Noah would be here, because I just found he's trying I thought it was Azolla. You've now mentioned it's duckweed. I don't know if Noah knows what is even growing.
Yeah.
So what is the importance? Like, how do you even tell the difference between duckweed, Azolla, and those other kinds of plant feeds?
No, it's just the structure. Like I said, the Azollas are smaller, duckweed are bigger. But most of the time they grow together. They grow together in a pond. One thing you'll notice about Azolla or duckweed is in a pond where they are, you'll actually find they'll only survive in stagnant water. Water that doesn't move, yeah? But under that water, when you remove the Azolla and duckweed, you'll find the water is very clear. You can actually see down.
Really?
Yeah.
But on top of the water, it's usually green, so people imagine it's like sewage-ish or...
Yeah, actually they enjoy dirty, muddy, murky water. That's how they feed from it.
So
they feed from the
plant or
it's an aquatic plant. It's an aquatic plant with roots, stem, leaves.
Really?
Yes.
They have many roots.
Yeah, they have roots.
We need to check that.
Yeah, they normally they're just floating. I always tell people they're actually in the same, I don't want to break it down with in science or the phylum, but they're in the same family with the hyacinths, the way as the aquatic plants. Like only the hyacinths are big, but they have the same characteristics with hyacinth. In terms of growth, they grow, they populate. In a week or in 2 weeks, it doubles its population. Let's say if you put 50, if you put it in a small basin, as long as 2-3 weeks, you'll find it doubled the surface area to which it's been planted. So it's actually very good because of its fast growth, and sometimes they're actually invasive. In a way, they're very invasive, so that they grow or they can conquer an ecosystem. That is why they're called invasive. They can conquer a whole ecosystem, and which is very good for aquatic life. Yeah. I was telling you, there's a lady I wanted. I get her duckweed for just as she had a fountain that had this koi fish. She told me, hey, Robert, I just need a bit of duckweed so that it looks a bit good. I just brought just like a handful of duckweed. 3 weeks later, I think I showed you. I don't know if you let him have the picture. Do you have the picture there?
The slide.
It covered in a couple of weeks. She came back. I'm supposed to be seeing my fish. I can't see them. I told her, no. Yeah, that's another. That's one of the ponds. Yeah, the next one. That's one of the ponds that we have our duckweed. And that's where we are using that. The picture that you're seeing now is it's for water treatment. Duckweed is used for water treatment. So there's one that has there's a picture. Yes, that one there. That one we did for. That's a fountain that has goldfish and koi. It's supposed to be very beautiful, but you know, this is just a couple of weeks after I put the duckweed. It grew like covered, and then you see the water became very clear, very nice. It's a way of treating your water, especially if you have very dirty water. You can do this. You can have the duckweed and you keep harvesting, because the more you harvest, the more they grow. Yeah, the more they grow, and then you know that it's that competition. Yeah, stimulates their growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. Why would someone want to venture? I don't know if Noah has joined. Probably we get his insights on what he's doing in one of the areas we have on our farm.
Yeah, and then I'll advise anybody who's doing your Azolla or duckweed, put it on a flat. Give a bigger surface area. Don't limit it to a small surface. Yeah. If you have tanks, those blue tanks, you cut it into half and expose it and let it be more exposed. These are plants. They need sunlight. They also compete for space. They compete for nutrients. So don't crowd them up. If you crowd them up, they'll choke each other.
But I'm yet to understand, why would someone even venture into such kind of farming? No, are you there? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
So I've been told you're practicing duckweed farming. I thought it was Azolla.
Now me, some of these things, that's what, in fact, it's a very good thing that you mentioned. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, can we hear you? I doubt. I think
Yeah.
our producer will work on
the sound.
On the sound.
And we'll get back to him.
Yeah, but it's very unfortunate that you do not know if you're doing Azolla or duckweed. But all in all, it's the same thing. Only that they are just different in terms of their morphology. Yeah.
So probably now, why did you even decide to venture into duckweed farming? What are you planning to do with it? We'll try to get Noah's sound fixed. But as you were mentioning about Azolla, let's talk about now the benefits of Azolla, because apart from it being a water purifier or high in proteins, what are the benefits of Azolla?
The most importantly to a farmer is the nutritional content and the nutritional value of Azolla. It's very hard to find a plant that is food that's above even 10% in protein. Why is it important for a farmer or for a livestock farmer to have high protein? Because it helps your animals grow fat. You need a higher content of Azolla. So Azolla and duckweed have approximately between 20 to 30% of protein. Do you know that's a lot? That's more than soya. That is more than fish meal. That is more than than even this beef that's been siagod.
Yeah.
And that's I know of Azolla that we did some tests that came to about 45% protein. Now, if not only protein, it has refuges. It has also vitamins, because it's green, chlorophyll. It has vitamins which are very good. Now you're looking at, all in all, this is something that, and fiber, which is very important for animals, for animal digestion. All in all, this is quite a good supplement for. No, I won't use the word supplement. It's a good feed for your animal. Another thing, it grows very fast. That's one important.
Like you said, you mentioned it grows after like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. It actually grows quite fast. Yeah, as long as you give it good space. Like any plant, it needs nutrition. Yeah, it needs to break down. And then another thing, I talked about it being used for sewage treatment.
Okay.
Very
So
good
that's
for sewage treatment.
Yes, yes. We are taking a quick breather, and we'll be back. We are talking about Azolla farming in Kenya. We want to understand more on what exactly is this Azolla. Like Mwakio is trying to tell us that he can grow Azolla on the sewage to purify the water. So we are taking a short breather. We'll be back shortly. Talk more about Azolla farming.
Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. Agriculture provides most of the world's food and fabrics. It is not only a source of food and income, but also creates employment opportunities for many people in the world. Over 1 billion people worldwide work in agriculture, generating 2.4 trillion for the global economy. The global impact of farming on the environment is revealed that 40% of the Earth's land is now given over to agriculture. Agricultural development is one of the most powerful tools to end extreme poverty, boost shared prosperity, and feed a projected 9.7 billion people by 2050. And we, the Our Farmers Media, roll the carpet for you as we welcome you to our thrilling farm visits to different farmers that educate and inspire you in different sectors in agriculture. Catch us also on our shows on all our social media platforms as we bring you educative and informative information that will help you learn and guide you on your agriculture journey to success. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits.
To find out more about Azolla farming. Thank you so much for keeping time and for joining us and for being with us for the evening farm drive. Wakil, we were talking about Azolla farming and you talked about the water purification aspect. Expound on it. How does it work? Because I'm imagining if you've planted the Azolla on top of a sewage and it is doing all the purification, isn't it something harmful to even feed the animals?
No. What happens is the best thing. You can need it. You can use it to, but there it's used with these companies. They use it to treat water that they feel like they have very hard metals like lead and mercury, and that one cannot be fed to animals. That one is a pure, different need or use of duckweed or azolla for water treatment. So that water treatment serves for domestic use because according to research, azolla is able to break down and actually absorb hard metals, which very few plants can. And this is one of the most important for industrial use. It's one of the most important natural way of water treatment using azolla. But for use of just dirty water, murky water that doesn't have hard metals, you can definitely feed directly to the plants, to your animals, and that is the most. That's where you get the high protein, because it be able to break down all these elements. Yeah.
I think we are trying to get a hold of Noah to find his insights on why he's planted the Rerun duckweed, or is it Azolla? So Noah, probably thank you so much for making time to be with us in the evening farm drive. How is your day going?
Good. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Good. There's some feedback. So yes, my day has been good. A lot of work. Sitting in the office the whole day. This is not my thing. I hear Doctor is making fun of my Azolla. He's saying it's Azolla wannabe. Again, I think one of the things that before I even mention why I'm doing it is because there's a lot of information out there, but not all the information is accurate. If you ask many of the farmers who are doing Azolla or duckweed, you will realize that many of them, sometimes it's just a hype, like, something that needs to look good, but the information is not accurate. The other thing is even just the care and maintenance of such things, and you'll find that those people who are actually telling farmers, they're actually selling something that is very expensive. I was talking to Daktari and he made fun of me. He was saying that why are we buying things that are being grown on the roadside, I can't hear you. I can't hear you guys. I can't hear Daktari. Sorry?
I'm saying that I'm hearing there are people who are actually spending up to 5,000 shillings to buy duckweed at 5,000 per kilogram. And this is something that you can get for free.
So for me, it's normally anything that I do is normally something that I'm asking myself, what happens to a normal farmer who gets this information and is excited to do? Because we're being told, you can give it to chicken, you can give it to this. But one of the things that we're doing actually with the Azolla and the other stuff that we have here is that we're creating a kids-friendly environment where kids can be able to come and learn some of these basic things that they can have fun. And we're looking at probably starting this January, where after kids have gone on holiday, some of the activities that parents can be able to say, let me take my kids to be able to just learn some of the basics again. So that is one of the reasons why we are having it there, but also to feed our chicken, if at all it works.
Yeah, definitely it will work. I'll be there to make sure it works.
So how much did you buy your Azolla at? Because I'm hearing it's 5,000 per kg.
Let me not say, but I think it was more.
Yeah, I'll laugh even more.
I think it was 3,000 shillings.
Yeah, it's something I could even bring for you a whole truck for free.
You bring for me tomorrow. Tell Dr. we like those free things.
Yes, we are Kenyans. We love free things.
Jack, we've applied for Nini. Star 254 hash.
What is that? Hustler fund?
Oh no.
Aslafan. Have you applied?
You 5 years in jail, eh?
Eh?
We are Katana. It's because
You've not applied?
Muri Ferran.
you take 50,000, you're fined 5 million.
No, Panama. You see, the catch with it is that I think it's a very good initiative. However, my concern with the initiative is very basic. The concern is if somebody has never done a business before, don't take a loan. I'm telling you that from experience. The other thing is that even if you take a loan, if you've been in business, you have to be financial management conscious. You have to know that it's a loan, it's being paid within 14 days. There's no loan that you're given in December that you can pay in 14 days. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do it, probably make sure that there's something that you are selling. Don't take a loan to finance operations. Don't. Take a loan probably to do something else, but not to finance operations. The moment you take a loan to finance operations, it means that, number one, you're not ready. And then the other thing is that we should also be requesting government to just share out some financial literacy programs for people to be able to access, to be able to know that yes, I'm taking 50,000. I've seen some of my friends who are who I would have expected they had a limit of 50,000 shillings, but they've got a limit of they've got a loan of 800 shillings as their initial limit. They're supposed to pay back in 14 days. So we don't know where the balance is. Huh? And the other thing is, I think it's also just to understand what the Hustler Fund is all about. But I think it's a very noble initiative. Let us see how it runs. But most importantly, financial literacy skills for those who are taking loans is very important.
No, we were asking with Daktari here, what kind of farming, if let's say a farmer is interested to get the Hustler Fund, what kind of farming can one put up with the amount of money that is being given? That's 50,000.
Well, I don't think you should take this loan to start farming. I think this loan should go to somebody who's already in farming, who already knows what they're putting. Remember, you're supposed to repay this back within 14 days. So if you cannot, there's no farming activity. Let me tell you the truth today. In fact, let me reiterate. If you make a mistake of taking the Hustler Fund, remember that negotiations have been done that even quite a number of people have been removed from CRB. So if imagine being blacklisted because of the Hustler Fund, I don't think you will ever be.
I'm seeing so many people going back to that CRB.
So if you're taking it, because even Dania takes probably for 45, 60 days, even Kunde takes 45 days. So unless you know that you're putting in money into for fertilizer that you have a crop that is about to get done, because the other option, I'm really trying to think what you can do to get that money back within, even if it's 50,000. Although according to what I'm hearing, is that the loan limit, the maximum you can get as an individual is 50,000, but the loan limit is in stages. So you grow your stage. So if you borrow 800 shillings and you pay back, then you grow your limit, just like any other financial who gives you a finance. The only thing that I want to insist that let it not be used as a next election campaign strategy. Let it really help farmers. And for you to help farmers, you have to make sure that you give them financial literacy skills, because 90% of business is not the finance, 90% is the passion, dedication, and all that. Finance is just a bit of it.
So I'm with the experts here, Azolla. Do you have any questions regarding whatever you're growing? What you need to do to make it increase in numbers?
I need a Azolla planting guide.
Funny enough, Azolla is one of the easiest things to plant. You just get a few seeds and just put it on water. So long as the water has nutrients, it's a plant like any other plant. It needs nutrients, not just flat water. If you can get a bit of humus or anything that has nutrients, just put it a little in that water, then it will help it. It will make it grow fast.
My question is, what is the difference between, what is the direct difference between Azolla and duckweed?
They're the same thing, only that they're just morphologically different. The structure, I mean, Azolla is bigger compared to duckweed. Just the difference, nothing much. Their chemical composition in terms of the nutrients is just almost the same. The growth pattern, the way they grow, and even the intention in terms of feed for animals is just basically the same. So that's why most people find that they're growing Azolla and duckweed. But you can differentiate. Azolla have a bigger leaves or bigger crests compared to duckweed, but they're the same.
And so my question comes in is that there's a lot of information that is out there. We don't know how credible it is. We don't know, and then whatever information is given is normally given in bits. So when somebody tells you they can supply you Azolla, they don't give you a guide on how to take care of it. They don't know, which environment is good. Is it direct sunlight? Is it a place where there's dust? Is it a place that is dark? I don't know what it is. Why is it that some of this information that is already out there and it is available is being hoarded, and yet it's free?
Yeah, there are people making money out of that. You see, that's why I'm quite surprised. So people are buying Azolla now. I can go online right now in gg.com or other, because they realize this thing is a very good feed. Yeah. So the more they hoard the information, the more they make money out of it. If you go to your YouTube now and then you start seeing how many videos are there about Azolla and how important Azolla is, but you won't be told on how to take care of Azolla, where to get it, how to source it, and how to take care of it. But what I know, like from the video, one of the pictures I showed you, this duckweed were being used for a water treatment. It reached a point that they became a nuisance, because every time they started even throwing them out of that pond, that small sewage like pond that they made, until I went and advised them, whatever you're doing is quite bad. Why are you throwing this and you have cows? For anybody who wants to know where it is, it's in Buruburu, this center. What do you call this orphanage? This orphanage center. SOS.
Ungenipatia hiyo lead, so mimi niseme I know it is watu watoe.
I don't hold information. I'll let you know.
Hata Jackie amekanyagia tu hapo hiyo dunia hapa. Alikuwa nafikiri ungeachilia bana tuseme sisi.
No, I won't even. There's a bridge I always cross when I go home every day. Every time I pass there, I see lots and lots of duckweed. Actually, those are Azollas, the green ones. The full cross a whole river. Can imagine. And then during that time is when people are complaining that there's no food for animals. So I can imagine. And you're taking your cows to just drink water there, and you don't know that's feed for your cow. Yeah, information is very important. By then, like you said, no, it's good that people learn. It's good that people follow such. Information is free out there sometimes. You just need to just switch on your TV or your internet, and then you learn. Holding information for your own self-gain is not very good.
Yeah, I think that's the challenge that we see, and we're hoping that as a farmers media we can be able to break down this and disseminate accurate, reliable information. Obviously, it is free. but we can also charge something. I'm an American Jack.
Yeah. There's nothing that is free in this world.
Yeah, you have to pay in one
He's
way.
saying that Azolla can also be eaten by humans.
Yes.
Would you consume Azolla yourself?
Me, I know I've never eaten, and I don't even think I'm going to eat.
Is it Singapore or somewhere in
Let me eat it.
Asia?
Let me eat it in fish. What can you pull up fish?
Yeah, Azolla they make biscuits out of Azolla.
Interesting. Thank you so much,
Thanks.
Noah, for making time. We'll be linking up with you. Will you be at the breakfast show tomorrow?
Let's talk about that.
So thank you for making time. Let's finish our show here with Makio as we discuss about Azolla. You've said it's a good for animal feeds. How much Azolla does a farmer require to probably feed? Like if it's poultry or fish, how much Azolla does one require, and what do they need to do to make it multiply so that it doesn't end if they are only depending on Azolla?
First of all, if you want to become an Azolla farmer, you need to have space. Make sure you have sufficient space for your Azolla plant to grow. And then, because if you want to do it as a large scale, probably feeding like more than 20, 30 animals, you need to have constant supply if you want to do it totally as Azolla. So let's give an example of those the 1,000 liter tank, the blue tanks. Probably no, it's about 800, 700 liters. That when you cut it into half, if you put your Azolla and give it probably a month, be able to fill the whole tank. Yeah, that will be able to feed at least as a supplement. You're not feeding like totally feeding. You feed it as a supplement. You'll be able to supplement your feed for about 10 animals, probably for about 2-3 weeks. So if you do your math, if you have several of those tanks, you can be able to be feeding your animals constantly, continuously for a whole like give or take 3 weeks. Now, what I was saying is, unless now you have a big pond, like you have big system like one of the pictures I showed there, where the Azolla like as much as we remove it, we'll still find, because some of them grow on top of the other. So you see, like if you have something big, and let me tell you the truth, this thing sometimes becomes a nuisance. It like the one showing on the TV right now. This one sometimes becomes a nuisance to us. You will harvest, you come couple of days, it's back. You don't see and then the water under there is very clear. You can see at the bottom, the water is very clear. So this, sometimes they feel like it's a nuisance, so they even remove it. You can see those people, they never knew that is a very important plant until we started training them on how to use it and how to harvest it. So how do you do it? You just harvest it. You can feed it.
And how do you harvest?
You can use a sieve, or you can use something that because it's floating on water. You can just get it using sieve, a big sieve. You can use your hands if you can be able to manage, but it's a lot of work. And remember, the water that is down there is it's drinkable. Like this guy, some of these farm workers drink that water. They do drink that water. I'll call one of them, or we'll phone one of them in one of our shows. I tell them, you still drink that Azolla water? Been drinking this water for the last 1 year, 2 years. That's what they tell us.
Does the Azolla require a lot of water for it to continue growing?
What happens is the bigger the surface area, the more they grow. The bigger the population of the Azolla. So if you squeeze them, obviously there's that competition for nutrients, sunlight, and space. And now that's where the survival for the Darwin's theory come in place, where some die. That's why I've seen now some of Noah's Azollas and duckweed dying, because they're choking each other. They're so compact into a small space. Yet the water, they need a bigger surface area. The bigger surface area, that means nutrients are well spread, not concentrated on one side. Yeah. So, and then they have their roots. Okay, their roots might grow long, but their roots cannot get access to some of the nutrients that go down.
Yeah.
So they make sure that they are able to get the nutrients. Yeah.
So like a farmer needs to be changing or checking the water regularly?
Not checking. Once these things start growing, I don't even see the need of you checking. Once they start growing, maybe just throw a bit of cow dung or waste, chicken waste or goat waste in there to just fertilize the pond. Once it's fertilized, they'll be able to, grow, because they need nutrients. These are plants. They need nutrients. They need sunlight. They need nutrients to grow. That's why they do so well in sewage, called Mavi.
I've also seen a place where they're talking about Azolla being a form of green fertilizer.
Yeah.
Expound on that.
Yeah. When you harvest Azolla and then you let it decompose, remember it's very nutritious. It has a lot of compounds in it. Yeah. So when it decays, remember it comes humus. Be able to get a lot of nutrients out of it. That's why it's called a natural green fertilizer. Yeah. Remember, it's a very nutritious thing.
So like it can be used to fertilize other crops?
Yes.
As well, such
yes.
as which kind of crops?
Just normal. You can use it for your backyard farming. Normal crops like kales, tomatoes. You can use it because it's high nutritional value. See, if something that has higher protein, when you break it down, you'll get when you break it down completely, you get your phosphorus there. And when you get your phosphorus, the NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You get all your nutrients there. Yeah.
Interesting. This has been a very educative show. Thank you so much, Robert, for making time. I know we would have loved to continue with the show, but time is not on our side. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. I'm hoping we'll be on time tomorrow, 7:30.
Yes. Tomorrow will be on time, and for those who are following our show, will be here.
Yeah, we had actually gotten some feedback on Facebook. I don't know if we can sample some of them here, but as we try to get these messages, let me see. The proverb of the day is smallholder agriculture is the new engine of economic transformation for Africa. That is one of the proverbs by Dr. Agnes Kalibata, the president of AGRA. Smallholder agriculture is the new engine of economic transformation in Africa. So she's one of the champions of smallholder farmers. She really loves working with smallholder farmers. Right. So we'll be taking a short break. When you come back, we'll be sampling some of your comments on Facebook. And yes, give a shout outs to some of our followers, loyal followers. So keep watching our Farmers Media. We'll be back shortly.
Farmers is the home of Africa Farmers Club, and by extension, African farmers. The whole idea behind Farmers is to transform the image of an African farmer from a producer into an agripreneur, somebody who actually does not think about how to produce onions, but how much is going to be used to produce onions, and so that way then they can be able to transform their vision, they can be able to look at their farms as businesses, and they can be able to know when to engage with the market. What we have done is that we have developed a hub where farmers bring their information, bring their questions, their challenges, and other farmers are there to come out and help. Facebook has not just been instrumental, Facebook has been a working partner for myself as well. And Facebook has actually transformed the way we relate, an open platform. My background is in tech, and I know you cannot build a platform that can reach out to so many people. Initially, it was just a few farmers in 2 counties, Machakos County and Kajiado counties, but now it has transformed. We have a stronger membership from Nigeria and Zambia than even Kenya itself, And the reason behind this is
the messages I get from different farmers across Africa. And then something interesting came to my mind, and I thought about using the camera. Every time I visited farmers, I would be able to post in the community, in the group, in my own profile, and just share the story of the farmer that I visited. And then I asked myself, why wouldn't I get this information, develop it in a way that other people can be able to benefit? If we go for a training, how do we capture that so that those who are not, the farmers who are not able to come for that training can still benefit? And hence the birth of Farmers Media. Our mission as an organization is to help farmers, African farmers, to attain knowledge and grow profits.
This is a farmers
Media.
A farmers media.
We tell you the stories of African farmers.
Welcome back to the Evening Farm Drive, the third part of today's show. Waki, I have a quick question. Who invented Azolla?
Hi, it's like asking who invented tea. These are natural plants that has been there. Only
Who
that
discovered?
I really can't trace, but probably it's just scientists that discovered that the nutritional content of it. It hasn't taken a decade, or it's a fairly new discovery in the world. It's probably less than 10 years.
Okay.
What they used to know is that the industrial bit of it, of how it can be able to be used in an industrial and sewage treatment. Then they realize if this thing can be able to absorb this, then let's test it. Let's see the content it has. When they did the content check, they realized, hey, this thing has a very high protein. This can be used for feed. Now, that's where the caution was. You cannot use one that has hard metals to feed your animals. Others will go back to your body. Yeah. So they realized if you can use it to just clear in normal, like wastes that do not have hard metals, just like sewage, animal sewage, human sewage, so you can feed your animals out of it. Yeah.
Interesting. I promised you are going to read some shout outs from some of our loyal listeners. I'm seeing BioLife Kenya is saying 50K is enough for a farm startup. Kindly share which farm startup you can.
I told you kitchen garden maybe. Unless it's you already have everything. You have your infrastructure ready. Maybe you just need to buy seeds and probably fertilizer.
Frida Okech is asking 50K. I can't even dare apply that. It won't help me in farming. She continues to add that, and you need to return it in 14 days unless I'm wrong.
But I've just learned that today that you're supposed to refund it in 14 days, really. And then there is no wonder they banned all those apps that gives you like 4 days. You're given 10K, you're paying back in 4 days.
In 4 days.
What will you do in that? You won't even use it because of fear of repaying it. Yeah. There's so many things they need to do, like even the prepayment period plan. I think it's good that they revisit some of those things. And like the youth fund, by the time you get the youth fund, you go there with a good proposal, with a team. You show them this is what we want to do. Show them from the proposal. Then they are sure. But even with this, there are so many defaulters of the ways of funds, whichever. I don't know if those Huduma fund, all those funds have defaulters, and these defaults come because people don't have knowledge on money management. You have very good a visual, or you have a very good ambitious project you want to do, but you've not really gone down to understand the nitty-gritties, the basics. You just make your plan, let's say 50K, but you don't know, but there are other hidden costs that are down there. And also servicing your loan. How do you plan to service your loan? Is it that something that is already making money? You see, like for a chicken farmer, it can do something good, because probably you'll just pump in a little bit of money and buy feed or not. When you're doing your eggs, you sell it. Now it's for somebody who's having a running business. But if it's somebody who wants to do something, to start a project, I will never advise even a border rider. Don't, especially if you're going to pay your bills, so you're going to pay your madenis. Miaka tano, 5 years. Just keep off.
Well, that has been the evening drive. Do you have any parting shots for today before we close?
Really, do I have any parting shot? I'll just tell you, be careful how you use your finances, especially when you're doing anything agricultural, because agriculture is very unpredictable. Get expert opinion, get a lot of knowledge, go and do your research before you pump in any finance to start your agricultural project. So that being said, come up with a proposal. From that proposal, you seek expert advice, you move around, get knowledge, and then you start, knowing that it's not going to be a smooth sail. But once you start sailing and you know everything is okay, I know when the finances come, you'll be in a better position to even advise others.
I don't need to add much. Thank you so much for joining us in today's edition. I hope you've learned a thing or two about Azolla farming. If you're interested to put up the venture, we have Dr. Robert Makio here, who can give you a guide on the nitty-gritties that you need to know, because it said it's an invasive crop that sometimes can be stubborn. So you don't need to just get into it without knowing. So if you need all the information, Dr. Robert Makio is here to ask him all the questions on Azolla farming. I hope to see you tomorrow. For now, goodbye.
Bye-bye.